This is Dr. Thomas Mueller. I'm a professor in the Department of Communication at Appalachian State University, Boone, North Carolina. We recently had the Mandela Washington Fellowship come to our university. That's a real privilege for the summer. And as part of hosting those African leaders, I was allowed to give a seminar on marketing and communication for nonprofits. I wanted to do a short excerpt today on how I introduced part of that seminar, talking about how we can use some of the communication theory to be practical and relevant in our messaging. Okay, so one of the things we talked about is McCombs and Shaw did a theory about agenda setting. Okay, what's the agenda we have? What are we really doing? And honestly, that's not so different than a business strategy. Okay, what's the agenda we want to accomplish? That doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be manipulative. It can actually be invigorating, because what we want to do, and what that theory talks about, is we don't want to tell people what to think, right? That's society today. It's polarized. We're shouting our opinions. We're shouting our beliefs onto others, right? We don't want to tell people what to think. Rather, when you design your communication, the agenda should be, we want to tell people what to think about. It's a suggestion. All right. It's a thoughtful approach, not to tell them who we are. Here's what we do. Here's what we want, but rather thinking a little more with nuance, helping people discover and understand what we are and what we do. It's this metaphorical model of coming up alongside others to have that discussion, not pushing messaging at them. Okay. So to think about, don't tell people what to think, but in good theory, good agenda setting, good strategy in your nonprofit, consider what you want people to think about. Okay, it's a philosophy. Okay, good for that. And then also one other thing, Marshall McLuhan, the Canadian communication theorist, said quite a long time ago, the medium is the message. So to think about really, how does the consumer, how does the end person receive the message? Many times nowadays, of course, it's across a smartphone. We can think of the proximity of that screen, how messaging lays out on that screen. What's the audio component of that? And what's the visual component, right? Or in this case, YouTube. Many people are monetizing on YouTube. I recommend to nonprofits they consider building content toward monetization. In that case, even now, I'm trying to practice and do better at my YouTube posts to make things bigger, more graphical, right? Less text, high pace. I need to talk faster, right? People have shorter attention spans, and the duration of the video should be shorter. Okay. So always think about, again, that communication model. Another one is sender and then noise in the middle. What's all going on to sort of depreciate your message, and then the receiver. What do they really get? What's the medium you're transmitting through, and then how does that message have to be adapted to really do the best job to communicate with your donors, your shareholders, your partners, etc. All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.